Oh, that's it. So, so we create a safe environment for people who are harassed, because on social media, a lot of people are harassed, mainly LGBT, different ethnicity group, women. So the way others platforms are doing it is not sufficient for the receiver. So our system think about the receiver, and what we the issue regarding machine learning is, in the academia they do a small model with small data, and they don't validate the input data. So those are the three issues. And what I'm building is the system here. So the data from social media go to the Emakia server. And here I'm running Google Cloud. I'm using notebooks first I use the console, which make it easier to create model and to train them. And after I use notebooks to predict and to create model, but it was mainly for prediction. The things with notebook, it was shocking on it because it's running on top of a system. So you have to allocate machine type, and if your machine type is too small, it's not going to run correctly. Since I have big data, it's not working the way I want. But you can write also with Node.js, so that's what I'm moving to it. And after you transfer the data to the user. What I worked before was with Apple, and I use REST API, which is direct connection with the social media platform, but it's just for a testing situation. You cannot have more than 12 users. What we want to do regarding if an harassment is detected is to trigger a report, and that report will be sent to the social media platform to help them remove that person, for example, to know how the harassment is spreading, and to have how many harassing and which person and who is coming. And also when an harassment is detected, to have an email sent, for example, if he's a student, to have an email sent to the teacher. If he's a woman and if she's a journalist, to have an email sent to the organization of women journalists who can help that person who is harassed. So that overall the system, so a lot of work. I built 2 companies because National Science Foundation wanted Emakia to be for profit. And I'm working on building the system. MLOPS is end-to-end. So it's the data from the social platform to the deployment of the model, where you can read the prediction that the model. And I will put the, a link to the documentation, and you can have access. So Google provide a lot of good documentation on how to build it. So I put link on it. And the structure is you experiment with your data. So I will show you how I experiment. And after you do the data processing for us, since we have a content and we put a label to that content, either neutral or harassing. And after you train the model, you evaluate the model, you service the model, like if it's not working, just to retrain the entire model. So those are the different steps. And the model registry is like code registry. So when you have your code and it's not working and you want to go to the lower version, that the model registry functionality. So I go fast because it's way too much information for right now. This is Twitter, how Twitter provide API, so you can get the data from Twitter. Let me click on this one. And so this is Twitter API, and this is a sample code. And let's go to Twitter. Let me see this one. So this is my developer portal at Twitter. The thing is, they change a lot. So, for example, I was like, it's 5 years I'm working on that project. First, I did the prototype in Apple. After, I did 2 patents, and now I'm working with Google Cloud Server. So the finance changed a lot. So just like 2 weeks ago, I couldn't run the code, get the data from Twitter, and I pulled one time and I got 5,500, and if I pull another time, it will be over the limit. So you have to pay attention to all the detail on Twitter, otherwise your code is not working and you don't know what's going on. Regarding the setting, you have...
Corinne, we're still looking at your slides. If we're supposed to be looking at your portal, you might have to redo the sharing settings.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stop the sharing, and I will share the desktop, so it will be much better. So can you see the portal developer at Twitter?
Yes, we can see it now. Thanks.
So let's go back to the first page. So this is where you see the tweet that you are pulling, and one call of the, I will show you later, pull like 55,000, no, 5,592. And so I'm not pulling anymore from Google Cloud. I will work on pulling from my Apple in a month, in 2 weeks. In the setting, so you have to have the key and the token. So those are important elements that you have to put in your code, otherwise it's not going to work. So let's go back to the can you see the presentation now? Good. Okay, so these are other Twitter development, very useful. And the toolkit, Google Cloud recent search is what I'm using, and they explain everything in detail to follow. Let's go back. Sorry. So I will call a curl, and the curl will get the data, and the data will go in the big query. So let's escape that. And here is the Google console. So I have a lot of things open, so let me check. I'm sorry. Sorry. I thought I had open the terminal. So to open the terminal, you click here and you go on there, and I thought I open one. And from that terminal, you can also open the editor, which is really nice because working with VI is not as convenient than having the terminal. So this is the Node.js code, and I work on the Vertex AI to create the predicting, and I want to work on the create model in here. But to get the data from Twitter, I use Google Toolkit recent search. So here I will go to the to my directory where is the code, and I will run it, and I will get data in BigQuery. So this is my data in BigQuery where it will put the data. I'm not going to run it because I explained to you, I have no more. So this is the tweet will go there. And here I'm looking, so I got a lot of tweets regarding Paul Pelosi, and when they was having this sentence, Paul Pelosi is a drunk driver and insider stock trade, and it didn't record it as harassing, but it's not the fact to say someone is drunk is not harassing, except if it's repeated. And I realized it was repeated a lot. So I searched and did a lot of, let me. So you can query your BigQuery, and so I don't remember what I did. I just did it not long ago, and let me check. Yeah, is it here? I was just on the page. What I was counting, it was the recount. So they have 727 recounts. That means that sentence was sent 700. So it's more aggressive than just receiving one. So I'm also looking at how many sentence is sent. And I look also for another one, another recount. I'm not going to show you because I don't know where it is, but for a positive one, and it was, let me see, and it was more than this one. So I was very, very happy that the positive, some is not just negative. So just because it's sent several times doesn't mean it's aggressive, but it means it's popular. So I'm just, when I say exploring, that's the exploring that I was mentioning before. So this is, let's go back. I forgot. So this is to work with Node.js, but to work with Notebook is another way of doing it. Is you go in this way, you click on a benchmark, and you open Notebook, and you will work on Notebook. But the thing is not it worked for the prediction very well, but not for the training of the data, because my data set is too big. I got that information by talking with Google. And so for me, it's not very interesting if I cannot do all the data that I need to, because your model need to be big. Is Apple and Google are different. They present it the same way, but Apple want to have 6 million of data input to train the model, and Google is limited to 100,000. And I asked if I can get more to get to the Apple level, but I didn't get an answer, correct answer of the Google to see if that's their direction. And so I'm struggling with not Notebook, because I think my my data is bigger, and I increased today, just no, last night. Thanks Google, I received $100,000 to work on my project. So I'm very pleased, because machine learning is I was using 2,000. I got 2,000, and in a month I used 2,000 very fast. So I'm very happy about that. So let's go back to so I work on both sides, Node.js and Notebook, but I'm moving forward to Node.js, because it seems to me that it would be better, faster. Let's go back to I'm so sorry, I opened junk. Where's my thing? Okay. So I didn't show you the code of curl, but it's just you send the curl information, and you get the search result in the database that I show you. This filtered stream is my next step. It's with even bigger than 5,000. I don't know how, but it can go from the beginning. It's not just 7 days prior. So I will be using that with university, and I have to contact Twitter to do that. And this is a more elaborate system that I will be building. So this is the experiment with the data, the training, and the deployment. So these are the GitHub for Node.js API from Google. This one is AI platform. And this one is Node.js AutoML. So that was a previous one, I think. No, it's not. So it seems like you have to use AI platform, but I'm not too sure. And this is the documentation on the notebook. So the development for Apple is very, very similar to Google, except regarding the size. So this documentation also in here, and this is what Google provide Apple provide, and it's very similar. You have the visions, the speech, the natural language, and exactly the same for Google. And is a similar thing is like you go, you validate your data, you train your model, and you test, and you go life cycle. And this is a different step for each cycle, each step in the cycle, and the different feature. And this was 4 years ago when I was a screenshot of the app that I developed to screen harassment from Google, from Twitter. Any question?
I have a question. But first of all, thank you so much for this presentation. I feel like it's really obvious you've put so much work and passion into this project. So I really hope you continue to do well with it. And congrats on the funding too. That's really, really exciting.